Uh, Let me share my screen. Okay. So today, again, it would be a little long sessions. It would be because some of the very important topics, again, we are going to cover. Um, and the first service that we are going to cover, something like that. So what you can see on my screen, there are tiny toys, right? Dolls, whatever you can call it. There are many kids. They are just holding those toys individually, and there are many. So now, if we can remember some of them, but we cannot remember all of them in terms of the name details. If it would be 100 or 1,000 or 10,000, isn't it? But still, for small toys, number of toys, we can still remember his Bob's, his Ali's, something like that, right? Or so, in reality, the same problem happens in technology world. Like if we can replace those toys as a individual users, right? For every company, it can be small company or big company or enterprise. All of the companies, they have a different levels of users, right? Sizes of their employees, number of employees, all. But these problems are there everywhere. Like how do you maintain a kind of identity control or identity management? So at home, we face sometimes a lot of problem. Like let's say all we use net banking, all we use some of our own applications, all we use some of our different applications at home. For each and every application access, you need to have user ID and password in different way. And we need to remember sometime we need to remember put it somewhere else, the password. Okay, if you maintain 4 or 5 banks, for an example, savings bank, current account, if you use GoDaddy, उसके लिए और एक है, let's say you use some of the different applications, your own entertainment applications, some of the OTT platform, then you need to remember. Though thanks to the one ID solutions, right, which is called the Google authentications or Facebook authentications, by which you can at least don't need to remember all of the application details, but the problem is still there. For each and every applications, we need to remember our user ID and password. So for the organization, if organization uses hundred of different applications, right, from CRM, etc., and all stuff, then individual users, they need to remember all of their own credentials. Also, when once they leave these organizations, for system admin folks, it is a nightmare to remember who left, who joins, all of the restrictions, revoke permissions. It is absolutely nightmare job. So that's why there's a concept called single sign-on, right? Or SSO. So SSO is nothing but it's a centralized identity management, okay, by which you can simply or user can simply use his or her one credentials, and using that credentials, he or she can access all of the applications. It doesn't matter how many, but still they can maintain their user ID and password, only one, and then using that they can use, isn't it? So that is the concept of Active Directory also. So we'll discuss today also what is the purpose of Active Directory. But single sign-on is some same thing, like it is a kind of centralized database, if I put it this way. And using that centralized database, user can use their credentials to access different applications. So in AWS, there's a service called IAM Identity Manager, and it will work as a SSO. So now if I just go to AWS Management Console and just type Identity Manager, Identity Center. So this is something, now they have changed the name. Earlier it was SSO, but now you see everywhere they are using IAM Identity Center. Just click on that. And this is very important service because as an architect, as an engineer or company, you should deploy or implement this IAM Identity Center. So right now, this is the dashboard. So basically, you need to create and confirm the identity source. So what this very easy process. It's not very. I mean, look from the dashboard perspective, it sounds like a little jazzy and complex. Not really. You see on the left, it is users, groups, and lot of other settings, multi-account permissions, application assignments. Click on the users, and I've already created a couple of users. So for you, you need to create first the identity center. Just go and enable, and then you'll see the same thing like I have user, group setting, etc. The first thing, of course, you need to create the users. Okay. So let's say I'm going to create users, and the user name is, let's say, Shamol. So this SAML user, you should have, fill up this form in terms of the email address, confirm email address. So let me create. So I don't have any SAML in real life, but I will use my own email address, and let's assume that it's me, and confirm email address, first name, let's say day. So that would be the display name, and other like contact methods. These are optional. Little bit there in his information like cost center, etc. Who is SAML manager, etc. And go next. So I've just created a user called SAML, and now just like IAM, you can create a group, and SAML can be part of that group as well, right? It is also optional, but it is a good practice that you can put the user in some of the groups so that the permission assignments would be easier. I'll show you. Let me create a group and give a name like DevOps. So let's say, or maybe security. So someone is a security engineer. Okay. And I can now create the group. Right. Okay. And if I go to, it is not yet created. So I could have created user first, not a problem. Just quickly create once again. Okay. And next, now I can choose the security group and click next and add user. Okay. So the user couldn't be added. Some of the issue because duplicate unique attributes for emails value, because I have I'm using this devojitwings@gmail.com there already. So what I'll do, probably I can use somebody your email address. Yeah, can you please share your email address, or say anybody? Kuntara, which is not a problem. Let
अभय
I हाँ
KR216
हाँ बोलो.
अभय KR216
By
ABHAY
ABHAY
AAY
हाँ
ABHAY
HAY मतलब
AR
KR हाँ
216
216 हाँ
216 yeah
6, this one, right?
yeah
Oh,
this one
oh. So what I'm going to do, that go and next the same process, and you should get some kind of validations. So in your email, don't need to show us, but probably you just check your email and check. Okay. So
yeah
that's how,
yes
okay.
I
That's
got
how, the user has been created, but here it is showing that user must first verify their email address before they can begin the certain features. Okay. So please do the verifications at your end of it.
Okay.
If you have the email address, then okay. If you have the email inbox access right now, or
Yes, yes,
okay, you have done. Okay.
yes.
So no problem. So let me go ahead with so the user has been created. So now here you see that he's the part of these groups. Okay, you can add user to the groups as well, multiple AWS accounts, applications, and active sessions. Okay, so now here, if you just look at here, there's an option called multi-account permissions. That means you can also give other AWS accounts to this user as well. That means Shamol not only can access this AWS account, he can access other AWS accounts as well if I can give multi-account permissions to Shamol. But right now, what I can do, I can assign accounts, only these accounts that I have, and I have these accounts. Okay, and let me give the permission set to Samuel as a administrator access right now. Okay, and assign. So I've just given the permissions to Shamul to access this account. Okay, that particular account right now I am here currently. So this is how Shamul can log in. Similarly, if can go to AWS accounts, the multi-account options, if I could have different AWS accounts, so for that matter, we need to know organization. So organization is nothing. We'll have a detailed discussion on organization. But organization is nothing but under one root, you can have multiple AWS accounts. So let's say this is a prod A. This is a separate AWS account. The security is a separate AWS account. The test is a separate AWS account. So in enterprise, what happened? Probably you can have multiple AWS accounts for different customers, correct? Or maybe for your organizations, you can have one root, and underneath there could be multiple other AWS accounts for different workloads. Maybe your company, they have a different products, and they would like to host in different AWS account, not a single AWS account. And as a DBA, as a cloud security, or maybe architect or engineer consultant, whatever you are, you should access to all of the AWS account by using your own single credentials, right? So that for each and every account, you don't need to remember individual user ID and password. So this is problem, right? If you log into your AWS account, and if you create another AWS account, you need to create the user ID and password for that account also. Now, those things you don't need to remember. All you need to remember your one credentials. So this is from here, you can assign multiple AWS accounts as well. Permission sets. The permission sets is you can create a different custom permissions or predefined permission. Let's say Shamol is not only the security, but he should also need to have certain other services like billing or database administrator, data scientist, or network administrator. So you can have different, kind of managed policy from the predefined permission set. So that means as a database administrator, he or she should only have access related to all the databases and database related functions and features, right? Similarly, for data scientists, he or she should have access like Bedrock, SageMaker, all of the AIML stuff, even the networking and all stuff, right? So these are a kind of predefined policy that AWS has created for you, or you can go for your own custom permission set, like I can create my own, like I can create my inline policy. Some of the policies that you can create, like only API gateway, only maybe amplify, or maybe if you scroll down, only maybe the cloud shell. So you can create your own policy in the JSON format, okay? So that that person only have the certain permissions, or you can go for AWS managed policy, simply multiple policy from here. So probably you are familiar the same permissions when we discussed in AWS, right? So like now set multiple policy that you can simply go and select. So those policies you can go for, or attach policies, right? Custom managed policy right now not set, but custom managed policy, like, if you have any policies already, you can get it from the IAM console. So you just need to remember the policy name and attach here. That means if you create some policy in the IAM, right? The IAM, traditional IAM, you can use that policy here as well. Please remember, this IAM Identity Center is a part of IAM, but it is not a fully IAM. Okay. It is the service only designed for single sign-on. Okay. But these days, many customers, they are using this IAM Identity Center, and they can use these kind of custom permissions, or they can use the existing IAM permissions here as well, so that it can a single pane of glass for them. So by that time, Abhay, have you verified it? Let me check. Yes, thank you. So now you
Yeah.
see, he has verified, and it is verified. So what I need to do, I need to reset the password right now. Okay, and probably I can reset the password and can remember just for this, or you can change the password as well. Okay, so I just copy this. Okay, and maybe in my clipboard here somewhere. And then I can also remember SAML is okay. And to access this, all I need to share this link with SAML. So all he has to do, just copy this and put it on the browser. And now you see it is asking for the username and the password that I've just copied over. Sign in, a new password, because this is a one-time OTP was there. Probably I can put a different password now and set new password. Now SAML has logged in, and SAML can see the deposit test that the AWS account have assigned to SAML. So now SAML, he has only one user ID password. Now he can also have access multiple AWS accounts. I don't have any, but it is in reality. But now what he has to do, just click on that. And now you see, he has been transferred to the AWS Management Console automatically. But now it is saying that, okay, this is SAML. You see, there's a small AWS administrator access SAML, and he can have access multiple AWS accounts using the same credentials, and from this access portal. So these sections, it is only for AWS accounts. These sections, it is for the different applications. Now, let me try to show you some third-party applications. If you can provide the access to SAML. I don't have any, but the process I'll show you. So in this applications assignment section, so the first portal, first tab, it is all about the AWS, multiple AWS accounts. So you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 करके ऐसा दिखेगा, ठीक है? Now, if I go to application sections here, and let's say Dropbox, any application. So there are a lot of applications that's already listed here. Maybe, okay, at applications actually. So here it is saying the setup preference. I have an application I want to set up, or I want to set application from the catalog. So if you choose this, then this is a little development effort. Like, you need to work with developer, and developer actually work for you. Like single sign-on, open ID, like, these sections, it would be with the Gmail integrations or Facebook integrations or LinkedIn integrations. So from these options, you can go, this kind of single sign-on options. If I just go to next, and here your developer, they need to fill it up the application URL, which is your Google Access Portal authentications. Or if you just go to here, SAML, the same way. So these are the couple of metadata informations, and these are your Facebook or LinkedIn access URL. You don't get it unless until you subscribe for Facebook and Google for this OpenID, but the option is there. Like, in the applications, you can integrate SSO with the SML or SAML assertions or the OpenID, or you can go for your some of the applications from the catalog. So now you see there's a lot of third-party products already listed, right from Adobe. Then if you scroll down, you see a lot. There are so many, pages you see, like, Confluence, right? Jira, Cisco Apex, lot of okay, Datadog, etc. Zoom also can be integrated. So that means that if I have a Zoom right now, we are on. So probably I can have one identity that everyone you using the same ID using the Zoom. But anyways, so if I go for Dropbox and go to next, so all you need to set up these options at the Dropbox level. So this is the information you need to fill it up the Dropbox, so that these two-way authentications can be done. So again, these are little development related functions, but I just wanted to show you how exactly it works. And if I just submit, so okay, let me log in also. Okay. And now, once this applications has been created, now simply you have to assign to the users SAML there and assign. So this application has been assigned to SAML. So now if I just go to SAML access portal and a little refresh and go to applications, now you see SAML can have access to Dropbox also, but again, SAML will use his own single credentials, and just click, and then you will get signing into the Dropbox. It will not work because there's some of the settings as needed at the Dropbox. But if I just click continue, and then all of the Dropbox user ID and password page automatically, you see that at your home, at your office, not at your home, at your office, that you see that all of the applications, if you just click, it will probably notify you that you are using single sign-on, and it is getting converted to that respective applications page automatically. You don't need to put your user ID and password over there. So that's about the SSO. You understand the concept?
Dada, I have a question here.
Yes.
The question might be wrong based on my understanding.
Tell me.
For example, I have my own AWS account, right?
Hmm.
Kuntal has his own. Now I create a user in my account as Shamal, and same thing he does.
Okay.
Now, um, now, but then, okay, we do not have anything in common, then it should not.
Same attributes, it will be overlapped, right?
Got
The issue, yeah. So, but these options work for if you have the multiple users, even if you have the 4 or 5 users, I would strongly encourage that enable this. So it's a free service, by the way. Okay, it's completely free. There's no additional paisa you need to pay. So, and that is the well recommendation from AWS as well. Okay. I'm not saying that for third-party applications you need to do, but if you maintain, let's say you are the MSP, managed service provider, and you manage a lot of customer AWS accounts. So, and your engineer is same, right? Let's say we are all engineers, are all consultant. Probably, we three can have our own credentials, and then I can use different AWS account using our own single credentials. That is the whole concept, basically.